your stream. And Allyce Jones will serve to start us off.
Good shot by Collin Johns. Leah Tauber and Callan Dawson, both from San Diego, California. They train together, and they are out here running this mixed doubles tournament together. Let's see how this turns out for them.
A little California duo.
Oh, yeah.
And what
the two softest Ernies I've ever seen in my life.
It was such an interesting point. Felt like I was watching
laughing it off too.
Felt like I was watching pickleball in slow motion there for a second, Nick. But
3-0-2.
they'll take the point. 3-0. You see Callan Dawson in light blue. He's also holding a light blue paddle, and it doesn't look like any other paddle that I've ever seen. That's because it's actually not even out for sale. You're talking with him before the match. It's his own paddle brand, I believe, Avora.
Avora, yep.
And he said it's the first time this paddle's ever been used in a pro tournament. And yeah, he's very proud of it. Very distinct shape.
Yes, it suits his game well. With his pencil grip.
Of course, Callan. Is that what you call it, the pencil grip?
That's what I'm calling it.
There, okay. I mean, yeah, it is a very distinct grip. He holds it. Doesn't uses so little of the actual grip, actual handle of the paddle.
Yeah.
Just really chokes up on it.
And he adjusts his grip based off of certain shots. So if he's hitting an overhead, he sort of chokes down a little bit on the paddle. It's a good dig by Allyce Jones.
Just one of the best.
Sort of what she's known for, right?
Of course, one of the best defenders in the game. Awesome right side player. I mean, both Collin and Allyce known more for right side play. But you'll have Collin on the left here.
Really well played. That was a great point played by everyone on the court.
Hands for days here on grandstand. Dawson finishes that one with a nice little
That's
angle.
The classic placement over power shot.
3-0-2.
But yes. Placement over power.
You'll notice that, you know, some of the top players, what separates them from maybe, you know, someone coming into the sport that wants to play pro pickleball is just their decision making.
Oh yeah.
So decisions, you know, making the right decisions matters so much.
Got two of the people with
pickleball.
two of the players with the highest pickleball IQ, I would say. Some of the highest.
Some of the highest, totally. Yeah.
You know, on the court, Collin and Allyce. Callan Dawson also just been around the sport for so long as well. You know, he's someone with so much experience.
Yes. Good two-handed counter by Leah Tauber. New to the pickleball scene. Pro pickleball scene, I should say.
0-5.
Nice attack by Leah, setting up Callan to finish the point there.
And they are on the board, so we're in 1-5.
What do you think the strategy has to be here for Callan and Leah to take Collin and Allyce? I feel like this is a pretty even matchup. Collin, you know, normally playing the right side, so
Right. Hasn't necessarily had the results in mixed.
Right.
I mean, look, you're not going to sit there and out-team Collin and Allyce, so I think you're going to have to Really just try and go for maybe some speed ups off the bounce. And you know, you're gonna have Allyce who's gonna try and lob a lot off that right side. She does that with a ton of success. So maybe if you kind of have more of a first strike mentality with that and try and, you know, be the one to switch up those patterns.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's good. Being able to generate some offense.
Right, even if it's not necessarily with pace, but maybe even just off of giving them a different look.
Yeah, well said. Just as you said, the lob from Allyce on the right side.
It's just such a great shot. It
So well
works.
timed. She's just mastered it.
And mixed, women's, I mean, it's just so impressive. And it stays.
Third shot lob by Collin Johns.
Third shot lob, a winner.
Winner, clean winner.
And it looked like he put some sort of side spin on that.
Yeah, it was deceiving.
Collin Johns in his bag right now on grandstand.
Second serve.
I say that, just commentator's
curse.
Like part 3. I just need to stop complimenting players. There's nothing good to say about anything.
Sorry out.
But that was an incredible shot from Collin Johns. I've never seen anything like that.
181.
1-2-1.
So much defense.
Really
nice
good.
put away there from Dawson.
That was a good put away. I will say shout out to Allyce Jones. Looking at her paddle right now, it's all bedazzled, the edge guard.
That is awesome.
Finds a way to make it fun, doesn't she?
That is amazing. I think one thing, you mentioned this in the last match we had, Nick, but kind of the importance of the female trying to go behind the male, playing that right side. We are seeing Collin pinch over quite a bit. And so, you know, there may be a potential opening, you know, if you're stuck in that dink rally for Tauber to maybe try and create some offense going back behind Collin Johns there.
Totally, yeah.
Of course, easier said than done. Obviously, you got to find the right ball, but
I mean,
it was such a good point. I had to bring it up again from Nick.
The ultimate goal is to good point. The ultimate goal, I was going to say in mixed doubles, is to construct something where it's girls dinking with each other so that they're able to move the guy.
Right.
So that the guy can pinch middle, and then you can look for that opening behind the man. Because it's not just going to happen on a put away.
Right.
Second serve.
So you have to construct something.
8-3-2. Point.
Miss volley.
Nice drive there from Jones, 9-3. Here for Jones and Johns. Wow, that really rolls off the tongue.
Jones and Johns.
Jones and Johns, or Jones and Collin. Wow, case in point.
That's a good reset by Collin. Nice attack.
Oh,
by
goodness.
Oh. Where did that hit her?
Maybe, hopefully not the face. She is wearing eyewear. Gotta love that.
Those carbon glasses, or goggles on her face, I should say.
3-2-1.
Second serve. 3-9-2. Side out.
Just unable to get to the kitchen there. Just kind of got behind in that rally, and John's able to finish that one. Surprised that we haven't gotten a timeout from Dawson and Tauber.
9-3-1.
Still 3-9.
Second serve.
4-3-2.
9-3-2.
Good point. Good pressure by Callan Dawson. Didn't try to go for anything crazy there. Just played those high percentage attacks.
391. Second serve.
Yeah, Collin just did a really good job at applying pressure to Callan and Leah because they were off the line a little bit. So he was able to get the ball down on a roll.
The cross-court attack, not able to get the job done there. Serve goes back to
931.
Collin Johns and Allyce Jones.
Point. 10 point.
Game point here for the 21 seeds, 10-3.
5-4-2.
10-3-1.
And Mr. Turn is going to shut the door on game one. Try and isolate Allyce on the right instead of trying to isolate Collin on the left, even though he usually doesn't play that position.
I mean, ultimately going behind Collin's going to be the best scenario, but Leah has to get in that pattern first to get Collin to squeeze in order to go behind him.
Exactly.
But then, you know, you find Allyce right now just lobbing, getting out of that pattern immediately so that she doesn't even allow that to happen.
And now you've got Leah on the left.
Right. So now we have a little bit of a different matchup here. It's a mismatch. Really good point. That was just very well played.
What an opening rally
Holy
to this
cow.
second game. I mean, so good. And mad props to Leah Tauber. She had some incredible gets in the middle of that rally.
2 or 3 scorpions in a row. Just defense master. Collin, wow, that was just an amazing drive. That was a hybrid drive.
Right, and
It's like a
not
60%
a shot,
drive.
not a shot you will see him hit a ton.
101. Second serve.
I mean, what do you think they should be doing, Callan and Leah? Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I really like what you said. Just kind of about, you know, trying to fit in that pattern to, you know, potentially get Collin to start pinching over, maybe getting him a little bit, maybe see him get a little overconfident, and you know, maybe scooting over when he shouldn't be doing that. But at a certain point, you know, Collin and Allyce are just playing so solidly that you just kind of got to weather the storm.
Right.
You know, sometimes it's more about your opponents just playing really well for a certain period of time, instead of it being more about your skill.
Point.
Yeah, well said.
Another strong start here for the 21 seeds.
302.
We get a timeout here from Dawson and Tauber.
302.
Collin Johns, Allyce Jones in complete control here. And I do like that play from Dawson. That's the first lob we've seen from Callan Dawson, and actually got Allyce. Looked like she wasn't really expecting it. They don't win that point, but you know, could be something to watch for if he tries to do that a little bit more frequently.
I mean, really, really good ball placement. Collin John's just has the ball on a string. He had the ball on a string in that point.
And we're seeing
He dictated every single move that Leah and Callan made in that point.
so many lobs too. We've seen a lob on every single point.
It's an underrated shot for sure.
Underrated, and as these players are showing, perhaps underutilized.
Well said.
Nick's gassing me up here on the grandstand stream. His jaw just dropped when I said that, just to paint a picture for you at home. And the angle there from
maybe
Allyce
tiny,
Jones.
but she just played huge.
That was, there we go, come on, come on.
05 chips.
Nick Black, everybody. And Callan Dawson. What a put away one-handed backhand. Now, we got to talk about that Ernie there from Allyce Jones. Had a really nice angle put away there.
Yeah.
Got to give credit where credit's due for Allyce Jones. Yeah. And it was a nice initial attack there from Dawson, but maybe looks like Collin Johns was just really kind of sitting on that second one.
Good defense by Callan and Leah on that point.
Just too much.
It's just, yeah, I mean, it's just, they've got to create some sort of chaos right now.
6-1-1.
There we go. Able to find some offense there, Callan Dawson. Good speed up, good spot. Catching Allyce when she's back and Collin's up, a little bit of that spatial awareness.
Finds the angle put away on the overhead.
Really good point.
Just Callan Dawson running all over the place. Great defense, great digs in the middle of that point from Tauber as well.
Yeah, Callan and Leah played that point great.
Second serve.
Just that's Collin John's bread and butter. That backhand counter. Doesn't matter if he's on the left or the right. That's probably
1-6-2.
Yeah.
maybe his favorite shot.
Yes. Playing with his brother Ben Johns on the right side for so many years, just being such a dominant force on the PPA Tour.
That's a pretty shot there from Leah
Great
Tauber.
combo by Leah Tauber. It's a good setup.
Still some life here for Tauber and Dawson.
Oh yeah, it's not over till it's over.
Cut the lead to 3 points here in game 2. Dawson tries to sneak in after a great dig from Tauber, but unable to execute the attack.
That ball just sailed a little bit long, third shot lob by Collin Johns.
The wind not helping his case there. Well, Nick, I want to get your thoughts on the third shot lob. Obviously, it's not used very frequently for for probably some obvious reasons, but do you like it as a viable play at the pro level?
I mean, it depends on who's doing it at the end of the
Right.
day. I mean, Collin Johns, he has great lobs. Callan Dawson has great lobs. You know, Mary Brasha comes to mind when I think about players that have really good lobs.
Right.
I think it's just there's a time and a place for it. If it's in the budget, if the scoreboard's you know, on your side, I wouldn't lob at 10-10.
Of course.
I wouldn't lob at 9-9. I
Right.
wouldn't lob when the game's close. I would lob if it's, you know, if it's in the budget.
Right.
You know, a third shot lob is really used to just mix things up.
Right.
You know, because you as a returner server in pickleball have all of the advantage by not having to wait for the ball to bounce twice. And so you want to come up to the kitchen. You'll see a lot of pros come right up to the kitchen. They return the ball immediately and run right out there because they want to close the court off of their opponents. And so what you're essentially doing is you're taking them back off the kitchen line and becoming offensive with that third shot lob.
I think as we're seeing that, we've got tie game now here in game 2. Great run from the number 47 seeds.
6-6-2.
Really good ball movement. Great lob by Callan Dawson.
Now 7-6.
7-6-2. Side out. 6-7-1.
When Dawson goes for the drop volley.
Yeah, I mean it was there. It was there. He just didn't make it.
And that's kind of
7-7-1.
just the pressure that Collin Johns, Allyce Jones has put on you as an opponent. Feels like they're gonna be, you know, all over the court. They can get to any shot.
Right, exactly. You're just like, they're not going to miss, so I have to bring them up to the net, move them around a little bit more, get them off balance, and hopefully give me an easier pop-up.
Right.
Second serve.
That was a good, really good spot by Leah Tauber because she saw that Callan Dawson was moving a little bit off balance, and so she sped the ball up at him. Maybe it was, you know, below the net, but
8-7-2.
I think that was a good decision.
Got the air.
Yes.
Point.
Dawson looking for that attack off the backhand. We've seen him just barely miss that shot a few times.
Yeah, it's a rare miss. It's a rare miss by him.
9-7-2. Side out.
All right, still in this one. 7-9, not too much.
7-9.
Backs almost against the wall for Dawson and Tauber.
Point.
Just back on that return.
8-9-1. Point.
Callan moving out of the way of that ball with some swag.
Timeout, receiver 9-9-1.
Very tempting to want to hit that ball, but it did go. Nice ATP there from Collin Johns on the
Collin
first
Johns.
point out of the timeout.
Turned on the Jets for that one.
There we go. Collin Johns turning on the Jets. I love the alliteration. You know, there we go.
9-9-2. Point.
And game point. Here we could be going 3
Could be.
for the second time today on Grandstand.
10-9-2.
And just wide there from Callan Dawson. Serve back onto the side of Allyce Jones and Collin Johns. This game 2 has really turned into a battle here, Nick. Neck and neck.
9-10-1.
Oh, some net love. Leah Tauber.
Capital love. Capital L-O-V-E.
Capital L-O-V-E.
10-2.
So notice how Callan and Leah are doing what we talked about earlier, where they, in order for them to really get some momentum there, they're going to have to start generating some offense by speeding the ball up and doing some more. They're doing more of that. They're not playing passive like they were in game 1, and I think that's really helped them a lot turn this whole match around.
10-9-1.
Game point again for Tauber and Dawson.
Second serve.
That's the right setup. Leah just, I don't know if she was ready for the ball to come back that fast off of Callan's paddle.
10-9-2.
He read that ball really well.
And that is going to do it. Game 2 go.
I have bad bunions. Wish they'd disappear.
Lapiplasty.
Sup? Future me? And no bunions! How?
Lapiplasty.
Lapiplasty corrects bunions at the source, meaning you're back in sneakers in weeks.
Lapiplasty.
Weeks! The future of bunion surgery is here. Learn more at lapiplasty.com. Risks include infection, pain, and loss of correction.
Serve to start us off.
0-0-2.
And that is setting the tone early.
Yeah, I know.
Collin Johns. Just calls his own number on the self-driving crash. And even gets the tag there. Bonus points for Aura, but not necessarily on the on the scoreboard.
Exactly. Really good point.
You see Callan Dawson in the middle of that rally. He was looking to try and earn it. Had to kind of stop in his tracks. Actually, very impressively that he even got that ball back.
Point.
And all of a sudden, 3-0 here for Jones and Johns. It's kind of similar to how game 2 started.
3-0-2.
7-5-2.
Start out.
It's an uncharacteristic missed dink by Collin Johns.
0-3-1.
Cut out.
Oof, absolute missile there from Collin
Yes.
Johns.
5-7-1.
0-3-2. Start out.
Maybe a rushed attack there from Callan Dawson. A lot of his attacks in game 2, he was one better set, but they were also coming more off the forehand wing.
3-0-1.
I think that's the way he holds his paddle and generally hits his backhand. It's really hard, especially off the bounce, for him to get the leverage to be able to get spin and keep that initial backhand attack down.
Yeah, I think spin's the key word there. I think, you know, that was in the budget to speed that ball up. But you just need to get topspin on it. He hit it a little bit too flat.
That's where kind of having a two-handed backhand would really come in handy. Because I feel like it's a lot easier to speed up off the bounce, especially when you've got two hands.
True.
6-7-2. Point. Cut on 7-7-2.
Wow. I mean, everyone in the
What's that point?
wow. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone in the crowd, including us, is just in awe of the gets that these people made here.
In the middle of that, I think I saw the most nonchalant reset ever there from Collin Johns. But it was, I mean, it was amazing the way Callan Dawson, when he's taking a lot of court, playing a pretty big left side, but just the way that he was really dictating, kind of like you mentioned he did so well in game 2.
Yeah.
You know, had some really nice, you know, attacks off the bounce, had the lob in there as well. I mean, that was an awesome point from Callan Dawson.
Yeah, really well played.
0-3-2.
And still 0 on the scoreboard.
Right out.
And again, spend so much time complimenting and then this. You would think I would learn it at this point in the day, but no.
How could you not compliment? You know,
I know.
These
I
are
mean,
all
gosh.
just such great players.
I know.
Second
That
serve.
one catches the back of the line, right on it, and
It's a good call by
correctly
Collin.
called there from Collin. Appreciate the integrity. Always love to see that on the 20x44.
Collin Johns is very professional.
Almost an insane
Very
get.
close, very close. Yeah, Collin may get upset at many things. The net, the ball.
0-3-1.
But he's very generous, very professional, respectful player. Just great hands, good defense. Good job by Callan Dawson staying in it, staying focused.
Not trying to overhit that backhand finish.
Not trying to go for too much. Sometimes it's so easy to feel like you have to hit this perfect shot when you have opponents like Collin and Allyce that can just get every ball back.
Second serve.
Well, it looked cool.
It looked really cool.
I don't hate that idea. I think he's just a little bit late. Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't really able to make contact with the ball while it was still above the net.
Yeah, he was there and just, yeah, missed it.
Let. A recall. 1-3-2.
And Leah Tauber. Wow, what a combination
She
there.
looks like she's sick of it.
Take matters into her own hands. Saying, hey, don't forget about me.
Yeah.
Talking a lot about Callan. but
Two can speed the ball up.
There we go. Finishes that one with the two-handed backhand.
2-3-2.
Cuts the lead to 1.
Point.
Rare miss followed by Allyce Jones.
I don't see that too often, but
Callan had a really good drive. It's very hard. Good spot by Leah Tauber. Great job leaning in there, noticing that the ball was just a little bit high, and she was able to pick a good spot going behind Collin Johns.
what a run here. Tauber and Dawson 4-3
4-3-2.
on a 2. Maybe a miscommunication there from Dawson and Tauber, but a nice get there. Good get there from Jones. Kind of redeemed herself. Was
Yeah.
able to get the 4th ball off the drive.
Yeah, I mean, it can be really tough when someone like Callan has a really good serve. It can be really tough unwinding the stack. And so Allyce made it a point to really get to the line, really get there. She really hustled.
Callan Dawson smiling in the middle of this rally. So many lobs.
The lefty overhead by Collin Johns, the defensive masters, Collin Johns and Allyce Jones.
Oh my gosh.
Showing you how to get it done on the baseline.
What a rally there. Just the funniest thing. Callan Dawson visibly had a smile on his face going up to hit one of those overheads.
He's like, another one.
It was the funniest thing.
really good eye by Collin Johns because you saw that he was winding up his two and he pulled the paddle back. That was a really good attack, I thought.
Right, and
by Callan.
that's experience and that's knowledge
Totally.
of the game from Collin Johns.
Totally.
Virtually unmatched in that area. Except for his brother, of course. Ben Johns, can't forget about him.
Yeah.
Nice response, bringing you the call from Brookhaven Country Club. We'll see who comes out on top.
Just the never-ending lob fest.
It's
we're
amazing.
seeing.
You know, some people call Callan Dawson the lob doctor. I've heard some people say that, but
It's true.
the lob doctor is having to taste of his own medicine.
Correct.
A little bit today.
Yes, well said.
And also on Indian Jetboard, let's make some noise for ETN Wachowski and Maria Lapiplasty.
Almost
Wow.
an incredible sequence.
I
from
mean,
Callan
Callan's
Dawson.
everywhere. He anticipated the chip volley, the drop volley.
Right.
Well, he was there.
7-4-2.
And again, placement over power. Good spot.
Stays in. And I guess if you're Allyce and Collin, part of you is hoping that Callan just gets tired at some point.
Yeah, I
After
mean,
hitting so many overheads.
I mean, how many do you think he's hit by now?
At least a couple dozen.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, 30, 40.
And how many? Yeah, I mean, he's ran into the baseline like at least a dozen times. It's a good spot by Leah. Tauber
That is
finding Collin Johns' chicken wing. His right hit.
that's a big side out. I always think 9 is a big number to hit, especially in a game 3. So to keep him off of 9, I think that's definitely a win.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Leah Tauber going to work on the right side. Found a way to go behind Collin Johns. He wasn't ready for it. That was good pressure by Leah Tauber. Anytime you see your opponents after you hit a third shot drop leaning in and looking like they're trying to attack it, you should always try to beeline the kitchen line, like to attack and get on top of the ball and crash the line. Just to apply pressure and make them feel like they have to hit something a little bit better than what they initially thought they were going to hit.
Right. Because you already know that it's going to be up. If their paddle face is open,
Yes.
you know, to get it over the net.
Yeah, you want to exactly. You want to force them to concede to the dink.
8-6-1.
And a 1-2 combo off the overhead there for Jones and Johns. Finished by Allyce Jones.
9-6-1.
9-6.
9-6. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Callan thought the ball was going to be long, he left it.
And that is at the most inopportune time.
I've got to give it to Callan though. I don't think he's missed an overhead.
No, he hasn't, and it's
Yeah.
incredibly impressive. But just maybe a mental lapse there. It's such a tough point. Match point, yeah. And that is gonna do it. Some net love for Collin Johns. Johns and